In my interview with Charles on the radio yesterday, I asked him about Kawhi Leonard, and I asked him where Kawhi would rank in his mind if he's able to lead the Clippers to a title and win the Finals MVP with a third different team. He'd be the first player ever to do it. Here's what Barkley said.
Well, I think you have to put him probably behind LeBron. You know, during my era, no disrespect to Kareem, Bill Russell, Kareem, and Wilt and Oscar Robertson, Michael, Kobe, LeBron are my three greatest players after those guys. I think if Kawhi's able to win his third MVP in the finals, he might be right behind LeBron.
Interesting thoughts there from Sir Charles. Jalen, you and I love kicking this stuff around. What do you think as far as Kawhi and his place all time if he pulls this up? I'm looking at the look on your face. What is it?
Wow, my head is spinning with these greatest of all time conversations. So we can't just judge the result, okay? Kawhi Leonard is a fantastic player, and I'm a huge fan of his. But I can't just put in my mind that he can win the championship this year, and now all of a sudden he's going to leapfrog to one of the three greatest players to ever play basketball. I think that his success is well been earned. Basically, how he made himself into a player in San Antonio, a lockdown defender, became an all-star, a finals MVP, did something heroic in Toronto by winning the championship his one season there and really validated his greatness by the way he played and going on to win finals MVP. And now playing with the Clippers, his home state squad, a team that has never won the championship. But even if they do win the championship this year, I can't be like, oh, he one of the top 5 players that have ever played. That just surprised me with that conversation that we're having it right now.
Yeah, yes, he was saying basically in his era. So, but I didn't get the follow up because at some point you run out of time. So I didn't know if he was including Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and Isaiah Thomas and others who played just slightly before Charles did. But even with that, I'm looking at your face, Richard Jefferson. What are you thinking?
I don't understand it. Like Jalen said, we're tossing this term around, and yes, I think everyone has been like, okay, if you dominate your generation, like you can be considered a GOAT. Well, that's not the way the term works. And let me say this: the year that Kawhi won the first championship, the year that Kawhi won his first Finals MVP, he wasn't an All-Star that year. Right? He's never won an actual MVP over the course of the season where he dominated the NBA. So how on earth can we say that because he's won 3 Finals MVPs, if potentially, that he could be one of the greatest players to ever play? One of the greatest postseason performers? Yes, there's nothing to argue about that. But to say the greatest of all time, there's longevity, there's dominance, there's records. You got to show me that's one of the great defensive perimeter guys that we have seen. But greatest of all time, I understand that we're in the age of these conversations and these talks, but we got to bring ourselves down to reality just a little bit.
Yeah, blame me. I started all this on Mike and Mike 20 years ago. So if you want to be mad at somebody,
thank you, Greeny. Be
mad at me. I ruined the conversation forever. But so, Jalen, let me give you this. Kevin Durant versus Kawhi Leonard. We forgot Kevin Durant because we haven't seen him in a year. KD versus Kawhi Leonard, historically. Who's higher on your list?
Kevin Durant.
Oh, I'm going to say Kawhi Leonard. Oh, wait, you said AD. He said AD. I'm sorry. You said which one between the two?
KD, yes,
KD.
KD.
Kawhi Leonard is above AD, historically.
I'm saying KD. Kevin Durant, not Anthony Davis.
Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant has an actual MVP where he was the best player in basketball and has been multiple years, led the NBA in scoring multiple years. I'm sorry, Kevin Durant is a next level player. That doesn't mean that Kawhi isn't a monster, but come on.
I love the look of exasperation on the face of Jalen Rose. Go ahead, Jay.
So this is a perfect example of why I appreciate having all of the information when I want to talk about a team, talk about a player, talk about a prospect. But this is the perfect example why I hate stats. Because so many times people want to dumb down the entire journey and just talk about how many stats, how many rings, how many finals MVPs. It does not work like that. Okay, it's a journey in order to be considered one of the greatest players to ever play this game called basketball. These current players stand on the shoulders of so many legends and all-time greats that have accomplished so many things that they will never accomplish. And I'm thinking about Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. Like, these guys, Greeny, did it in the regular season, which now is being dismissed. And now we only paying attention to what happens to the postseason. That's actually what I like about bubble basketball. For the first time, I see the Phoenix Suns get love. I see T.J. Warren, who averaged 20 all season, get love. I see Dame Dollar getting love. Before it was like, oh, how many championships you got? Oh, what is he gonna do in the playoffs? And rightfully so. But I'm at least enjoying now players getting appreciated for balling and not necessarily just ring counting.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.